Hi everyone. In this video, I'm assuming that you already have an ePortfolio, and now we just need to add our civic engagement project template to the ePortfolio. So you'll want to start by logging into Tiger Web, which I will do now. And you're actually going to log in to Tiger Web using your Tiger ID and password like you normally would. When you log in, you'll be able to pull up the ePortfolio page over here on the right. So this is what your Tiger Web more or less should look like. And you're just going to click Enter ePortfolio. And that will take you to this page that shows you all of your ePortfolios. Now, if you don't see anything here, you should go back and watch the first video that showed us how to create an ePortfolio. Once you've got that, and hopefully you'll have one that has the little roadmap template here, we'll go ahead and click on it. And now we're ready to add our template. So the way we're going to do this is just once you're here, we're going to click this big blue X. Or rather, plus sign, I guess it is. Yes. And what we want to do is we're going to look for the American Government Spring 2019 template. Now, you may see other templates. I don't think you will. I think you'll just see this one. But I want you to find that one. Notice that it says Spring 2019. It was created by me, your instructor. And we're just going to say, use this template. It's going to say, now we're going to share this with some people. That's fine. We'll share with your class. And then what you'll see is it's added a new place here in my header with my ePortfolio pages. So we've got a home page. If we just click on the name Civic Engagement Project, we'll see there are some general directions, and then there are pages for each aspect of this project. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do, and this is just because I really don't like having these kind of drop down things. It's really hard for me to pay attention to those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the header. I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to do a little playing around with my organization. So I'm going to hit this. I'm going to click inside my menu bar, and I'm going to click the pencil. And this allows me to do some shifting around of where things are located. So for me, the my career stuff, I don't really need that right now. I haven't created anything in these pages. You may have. And if you have, then you can always pick this stuff up and you can just kind of reorganize it by dragging up. It doesn't always work. Let me see here. Yeah, so now that's at the top. I'm going to put my coursework. Yeah, that's fine too. And so I've got my career. Actually, I'm going to move my major out. I always have to play with this just a little bit. It's the my career that I don't necessarily want in here. Yes. I'm going to move this up. So you can see I'm just kind of organizing this. There are different layers of nesting. But I'm just going to kind of try to streamline a little bit how many of these things are in here. And now what I'm going to do is for the Civic Engagement Project, I'm going to move each of these pieces. And I just have to play with this a little bit to get it to come out. There we go. Yes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it down. So they're all their own level. Now, you don't have to do any of this. I just want to be really clear that you don't need to do that. But what I've done now is I've created this this header so that everything has its own tab, and I don't have to do all of those kind of sub menus because I don't personally like to do that. That's totally an option. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could do that. And I'm going to change this back there. Okay. Now, and you can customize this as much as you like. Now I want to talk about the template itself. So you'll notice that here it says instructions only viewable while editing. And these instructions here in this green box, you'll see everything that's an instruction will always be in a green box. And this is the same information that's available in eLearn. It's the same information that's available in the syllabus. It has the deadlines. What you're going to see is that every page has directions in a green box. You don't want to put anything in there. And in fact, if I try to click in here to edit it, notice that this box came up there that said, hey, you're in an instruction slide. So I'm going to scroll down and notice that I've got down here a box where if I try to click in here, now I can edit it. And I can come in here and say, actually, you know what? I'm going to make this my list. And I've added in the template examples that come from either me or another student. So this is my actual list of representatives. I live just a little bit outside of a city boundary, so I don't have a city council. These are my actual Marion County commissioners, my state house and state senate members, and my U.S. House and U.S. Senate members. So this is my list, and that's just on my main civic engagement project page. There are two kinds of mistakes that people make when they're working on their ePortfolio. The first one is that they somehow manage to get their directions inside this green box, and then it's hidden from everyone but you. So when you come in and look at it, it's going to look like you've put your information there. But when I come in to look at it, I can't see anything. The second mistake that people make is they don't publish their changes. So notice up here it says you have changes, your changes have not been published yet. You can hit that button and it'll publish them. And then I can toggle over to publish mode. And this will allow me as the publisher, as the author of this, to see what my professor and other people will see when they come to my ePortfolio. So notice that that whole directions box is completely not there anymore. It just goes straight to your representatives. So it's a good check for you just to make sure that you've done what you think you've done. Under each of the 3 pages for your representatives, you're going to find, again, the directions from the syllabus and from eLearn, and then an example of what you might do. So when I did this example, I did a little screen capture with my snipping tool on my computer of just who my people are. So I live in Monteagle, so these are my 3 commissioners, and I put their names over here. You do not need to have their pictures. And what I actually did, and you saw that, is that when I added that picture, I made the picture a link to their page. Now, you don't have to do that. None of this is required. What you need to do is have for each of your 3 representatives as much information about their background as you can find, and especially at the local level, that can be very hard. So just be transparent and put what you can find. Talk about any attempt that you made to contact them. So you'll notice that with my representatives, I have a mailing address and I have a phone number. There are not email addresses. And I don't like to talk on the phone any more than you do. But if I wanted to try to get in touch with these people, I would give them a call or I would write them a letter and see if they responded. At the local level, you'll be surprised. Very often, in fact, I would say more often than not, the students who make a phone call to their local representatives will typically get them on the phone. Now, when you make a contact, what you want to do is either ask them a question about something that they have the power to do. So like, do you support more money for local parks? Or could you have the police patrol my neighborhood because people are speeding? Or there's a pothole on my street and it needs to be repaired. Or you can tell them something that you want them to do. So you might say at the county commission level, I'd really like to see the commission, prioritize parks and recreation in the county budget or the city budget if you're talking to city council. I'd like to see, anything to do with schools, with at the local level, so like city government, anything to do with law enforcement at the city or county level. Elections, so like where are your polling locations? That's going to be at the county level. Those kinds of things are the kinds of things that you want to contact them about. And then you should just note whether or not you got a response. Now, if they don't respond to you, you're not going to lose points because you've done your job. And so you just want to, again, give a little bit of information about their background, describe any efforts to contact them. If you email someone, just copy your email. And then if you get a response, either describe what they said or paste in what they wrote back. So that's local government. State government, you're going to see exactly the same. So I did a little screen capture of my state representatives, and we do the same kinds of work. And then for national, you're going to have 3 people here. And, these are my national representatives. So I would describe any attempts to contact them. Under the meeting and event reflection, you'll see you're going to add in what meeting you attended, what the date of the meeting was, and where it took place. I put a picture of the Marion County Courthouse because it's a pretty picture, even though the Marion County Commission doesn't actually meet at the courthouse. They meet at another building that's not as pretty. But I put this here. You can always just delete it if you don't want that to be there. And then you're going to write your reflection in this box. You can either write it in Word and upload a file, or you can write it in Word and then copy and paste. And I've included an actual reflection from a student from last summer where they went to the Collegedale Board of Commissioners, and this is what that student wrote. Now, this isn't perfect. There are some grammar errors, but this is what I'm looking for. And if you follow this general format, then you will be just fine. Finally, on the final reflection memo, this comes at the end of the semester. In the instruction box, I have the questions that I want you to answer, but I want you to write them in such a way that it's not like question 1 or bullet 1, and here's my answer. I want you to write this as a paper that someone else who didn't have any idea what you did could read it and understand what you were trying to say. So write it in narrative format in first person, but explain what you did, what you learned, what you might have done differently, and whether you feel like this was valuable. Okay, so and here again is a real life example from a former student. It's not perfect, but it fulfilled the requirements of the assignment and received full credit. So that's it. For all of these pages, you're not, like I can't publish or I can't toggle over to publish view because I haven't published this page. And a really good trick for publishing pages, up here in the top right hand corner, you can click on those 3 lines, click publish pages, and you'll see that some of them have been published and some of them have not. So I'm going to just go ahead and hit published for all of them. I like to, when I'm working in ePortfolio, which I do regularly, I like to just do that. Go up there to the top right-hand corner and publish all of the pages before I walk away from the computer anytime I'm doing anything. And then again, I can just confirm that all of my pages are showing up and they look correct and I've got information in there, and that's it. Now, if you need any help at any time with your ePortfolio, come over here to this red D and come down to the little house. When you click on the house, it's going to take you back to the home page of ePortfolio. And we're just going to click on ePortfolios up here at the top of the page. When we click that, we're going to see several ePortfolios that are kind of recent, and you'll see like these are different people. But up here in the bar, there will almost always be one that has the little ePortfolio lab picture because it's a featured portfolio. And this This is also, by the way, linked in our course. But this page has the hours for the ePortfolio lab. It has the location on the main Chattanooga State campus. And importantly, it has the phone number. So during these hours, Monday and Tuesday from 9 to 8, Wednesday and Thursday from 9 to 5, and Friday from 9 to 4, you can call this number and you will get in touch with one of the peer mentors. So these are actual students at Chattanooga State who are trained in ePortfolio. They work with classes all the time, so they actually teach classes on ePortfolio, and they can help you. And so one of these very, very friendly, helpful people will answer the phone and will help you with anything you need. Or if you stop by, they'll be there. So Hannah Jones has taken classes with me before, and Jennifer Mesta is in this class right now. So those two have very specific knowledge about the class and the ePortfolio. And you can always get there either from eLearn or just by going up to ePortfolios. Okay, that should give you everything you need to know in order to complete these assignments, but if you have questions, feel free to ask in the Q&A board of the discussion area or get in touch with the ePortfolio Lab mentors. Thanks, everyone.